need you to clap your hands wherever you are. If you know that you're a conqueror, I want you to say this with me. I am a conqueror. I walk by faith and not by sight. Deep within me, I strive to do right. I'm not ashamed. Welcome back to the Reflection Show, guys. I'm so excited to be here at the International Christian Film and Music Festival. And you know, I'm your host on the show, Ramsey Rizard, and I thank you so much for tuning in, because today I got a special person sitting in this chair. I always have special people sitting next to me, and I'm proud to announce, not only is the song awesome, but he turned this thing around. We have Steph!
I feel like I'm at a concert right
now. Steph, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man.
What's going on?
Well, a lot of things. I'm excited to be here. We got 2 nominations for Amazing Grace, so it's really awesome.
Your video, your song, your producing, your skills, your gift, your talent is just amazing.
Thank you.
Explain to me, when this video Awesome came together, what was going through your mind?
What was interesting is that it came from a project called My Shining Hour, which is a TV special.
Yeah.
And the song, I wrote the song, and it really didn't fit anything I had on the program. It really, I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
But I liked the song. I didn't want to just drop it. And then I was asking for guidance. At first, I thought, let's do something and try to raise money to create water wells around the world. And then we'll call it the awesome well or something. Yeah, so that was my first idea.
Yeah.
And then what happened, it really didn't fit the project. So I was trying to find a way to fit it in.
Yeah.
And then somebody sent me an email with it was a letter written by a young man that had committed suicide. And he wrote this letter hoping that it would make a difference, that somebody would read it and make a difference.
Wow.
And I said, what could be so bad, going so wrong in your mind to take your life at that age? I think he was 13 or 14.
Wow.
And then I started digging into his story, and then I remembered then, I said, bullying is a big deal. I was bullied as a kid, but it didn't affect me to the point that it actually, for me, it was a drive because I had a strong foundation at home. I knew who I was. I knew I had accepted Christ. I was the first time I was 6 years old. So I knew my identity, and I had strong parents. But today, back then, you're bullied in school.
Yeah.
Get beat up, and then you come home and you're safe again. But today it's a completely different thing because you get bullied, cyberbullying with social media.
That's true.
You're coming home with your device. Today people are busier, right? Parents are both working or separated today.
That's true.
So they're home alone.
The structure, the foundation in the family is different.
And so they're home alone. And they're being followed by the bullies because it's online, it's on their device, it's on their text, it's on their social media. And so it leaves them, it leads them to a place where they can't see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Wow.
So I thought, there's a real rub of identity in this young generation. We got to do something.
Yeah.
And the song Awesome now took life.
Yes.
Because all of a sudden, I was reading the Bible. I read after Israel, I bought the complete Jewish Bible. Right? After my trip to Israel, I bought this one.
Wow.
And then I read Psalm 139. And the reason I'm telling you this is because in the Jewish Bible, Psalm 139:14 says, I am awesomely made, and this I know well, instead of the regular version where we know is wonderfully and fearfully made. So, but I said, well, I'm going to use the word awesome. It's written somewhere.
Wow.
So then I wanted to, because you see, the verse says I'm awesomely made, but the part is that this I know well. So I said, how can we remind them? How can we really do something that will be left in their thoughts? And that's what this campaign came about. It's called Why I Count, Why I Matter. Spells with a Y, by the way.
But that's what I find so cool, Steph. I mean, in today's society, when it comes to music, we are dealing with a bunch of garbage, which I call it, right? Let's call it what it is. It's garbage. There's no solution at the end of the song. The story doesn't match the lyrics, and the lyrics don't have any substance. I mean, it doesn't. After listening, you still feel like
you're thirsty. It's like the woman at the well, right?
Yeah, right.
Where Jesus said you will never thirst again.
Yeah.
Right? So the problem is we don't have that. And watching your video and being able to see you bring different cultures, different generations together, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like when you were working on this video,
The Amazing Grace you're talking about?
Amazing Grace.
Yeah.
Let's go to Amazing Grace. When you were working on this video and you were on site, what is one thing that God revealed to you in that moment?
There's so many layers on Amazing Grace. First of all, I woke up in the middle of the night saying, I'm going to record Amazing Grace, and I said, I fought it. I said, I've already recorded that song. I'm not going to record. Everybody's done that song. I'm not going to do this. And then it told me that I had to do something multi-generational and multicultural where we can show that we all have a different way to celebrate God.
Yeah.
And then, but we're all invited to the banquet because we've all been showing grace. So,
right, that's true.
So, which is, it ties us in with the why I count again, where 99.9% of our DNA is identical.
Yes.
Right. So it was a big project because that was a costly one for a music video because it was a lot of days. It took like probably 4 days of shooting.
4 days of shooting.
Yeah.
It's hardcore. I mean, I can tell you put in
we did
a lot
of
work.
Yeah. And then the first day of shooting was in Daytona, right here in Florida. And it was at 4 a.m. I had to be at the beach at 4 a.m. because I wanted to catch the light, the sunrise, and I had about 80 to 100 extras there, and they were all dressed like angels, right, with a big robe, choir robe, right, because you saw the video. And then we shaped them as a cross on the beach. So a lot of pressure. First video, I said, God, am I hearing your voice, or is it just my voice that wants to do something? So give me a sign. It's a very short window to get the light, you know that, right?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, this woman shows up, and then out of nowhere, and she says, I got to talk to you. You're directing this, I got to talk to you. So I said, I have a very short window with a light, but finally I felt the urgency to listen to her. She wouldn't let go.
At all.
So I said, okay.
That's being persistent.
That's persistence.
Yes.
But she was so passionate, so I felt I needed to listen to her. She said, well, 30 years ago I had an abortion, and last night would have been the 30th anniversary of what it would have been my daughter.
Wow.
I know that God forgave me, but I don't think I've ever forgiven me. But I asked him last night because I was crying. I've been haunted, remorse. I've been asking for a sign that she's safe and that I'm okay with you. Something pulled her out of bed, walked her to the beach at 4:30 a.m. Now, get what I prayed, right? I wanted the sign that I was supposed to do what I was doing, and she asked for the same thing in her own world.
Wow.
She hears in the dark Amazing Grace played through loudspeaker. She doesn't know where it's coming from because it's dark.
Yeah, on the beach.
On the beach.
Oh, you can hear the waves, and that's it.
And then as she approaches us, she sees about 100 people, 80 to 100 people, dressed in robes like angels, shaped in a cross.
Wow.
I get goosebumps telling you stories. So,
and that led her straight.
So I said, okay, I got my sign sheet. So I'm so glad we put her in the cross. So she's the lady with a black T-shirt.
Yeah.
And she's part of the TV special telling her story. So it's just not amazing that I asked something for God to give me a sign.
Yeah.
And she was asking for another sign, and how he just uses all of us.
And you know, that's crazy because a lot of people, they become very, I tell people, if you're honest in your heart, and you don't pray just in your mind, but you pray out of what you believe, that you're feeling within you, God will meet you there.
Oh, yeah.
He meets you in your honesty.
Yes.
Where you're transparent with whatever you're feeling. You're transparent with every word that you're very genuine about. And he meets you, he'll show you. If you just ask God, show me, he's going to reveal it to you. And this is a powerful thing because not only were your prayer confirmed, but somebody else's prayer was confirmed, and they were able to be a part of something authentic. And look at, now you're at the International Christian and Music Film Festival. You're nominated for a couple awards, I would say.
Cool?
And, you know, you're here meeting different people, networking. This has to be an amazing experience for you.
Yeah, you know, what I learned is, I keep saying that in all interviews, to get myself out of the way, because I thought this project started in 2013. I thought it would take me 3 to 6 months. It took me 3.5 years. And then finally we aired worldwide on Daystar. And then Uplift and 24 Flakes. So it's really, really exciting to see this. But it really, the lesson is it's a humble lesson because it's not in your timing.
It's true. It's in God's timing.
It's in God's timing. I mean,
Yeah.
you have control. Control is an illusion. You never really have it.
You never. But you know, one thing I do want to tell you, Steph, that, you know, God also places people in your life to acknowledge you. Because we know he gets the glory.
Yeah.
But it's important that people acknowledge you because it's another level of showing that you are in the will of God.
Yeah.
And people see your work. They see what you're doing, and it's gonna bring change. Because me and Spec were talking during this week, and we talked about, you know, we're all born with a gift, and we have to use that tool.
Each of us, it's in 1 Peter
All of us.
4:10, right?
All of us, we're born with it.
Yep.
So we have to use that. And if we don't pick up the shovel, and if we don't dig and plant that seed, the person who's assigned to eat from that harvest won't have an opportunity to eat because we were afraid to say yes.
Yeah, we're all part of the big puzzle.
We all, yes.
But I think you know, in this industry, it's so easy to get in your way, and then we've all become a little bit of our own idol. You know, we really have to really step aside and say, hey, why am I doing this?
Yes.
Do I need the recognition to fulfill whatever, or really do I genuinely want to serve the Lord?
Yeah.
And so it's a constant battle, right?
That's true.
So I think we, as Christian, we all go through the same battle. We all connect. We've, like I said earlier, we've all walked that 40 years around the mountain, right? And we've all struggled.
Everybody.
Yeah. So we can't blame the Jewish being blinded. We've been blinded at times, many times, you know.
And that's beautiful, Steph. I mean, your message, your heart, your gift, your talent, your mind, and, you know, just your presence alone lets people know that you have that warm heart and, you know, you want the best for the world. And that's what it's all about. You know, you're saying yes, it's gonna lead people more to the purpose of their life and what they're called to do and who they're called to be. Steph, there is someone on the other side of that mirror that's watching this.
Yeah.
And
You got me looking, right?
And they're saying, Steph, I'm in the midst of a decision.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of a decision. And I need a word that can impact, influence, and inspire my life. Is there any advice that you could reflect on that was shared with you? Or maybe any advice that is reflecting in your mind right now that you can share with this individual to help them change?
I believe that we're called to have victory. I believe that we're called to have victory, and if we're not winning the victory, it's because we're fighting the wrong enemy. And we think a lot of times we're accustomed and wired to think that we are our best friends and best and worst enemy.
Yeah.
There's an enemy out there. You have to acknowledge him, you have to recognize him, you have to name him. And we need to fight with the words, because our weapon is the words. This is what Jesus taught us when he was tempted. So I always say this because we're all in this world together. When we're not winning, it's because we're fighting the wrong enemy. And I really wish for everyone, and for me, that's my prayer for my wife and I, that we keep our mind protected by the words.
Right.
So that we know the words and we know how to defend and raise ourselves against the tides, right? Because the words are powerful. It's our weapon.
And what would you tell Steph 10 years ago? If you were looking right now and you were to see Steph sitting maybe in the kitchen or driving a car and Steph was in that state of mind where he felt like he was getting ready to throw in the towel, what would you tell that Steph now?
Oh, I'll tell you, I'll answer this, but I'll tell you something funny, because I grew up a Christian, right? And my mom prophesied that I would do Christian music, and I said, never. I would never do Christian music because I think it's boring. But I met God outside of the church during the Hunger years when I was living in my car in Nashville, Tennessee. So I would just say continue to grow closer to the Lord, because this has led me to a place beyond what I've ever imagined.
Now that's prophetic, because I stated as the last one in the vehicle.
You did?
And I think it struck a chord to the last image of you living in your car.
Yeah.
And every successful person that we've probably encountered or watch on television, they talk about whether they were homeless They didn't have nothing.
Yeah.
They were on the verge of throwing in the towel. And here you are sharing this wisdom to the Steph that is sitting down in that car years ago. And man, I'm proud of you for that. That's good, because I'm pretty sure someone's life is being changed, and this is something that they needed to hear, along with the other advice, with that other person who could be needing that message.
And I think our God has a great sense of humor.
Yeah.
That's what I'll close. Okay, cut. That's the best close ever.
Well, Steph, before we even end, how can people find you? How can they get to this amazing video? I know we're going to air it right after the show, so make sure y'all stay behind and watch it. But how can people get to sharing this, liking it? Because I love it. That's why I'm going to be airing it right after the show.
Thank you.
But tell people, how can they find you?
Well, Steph Carse. Steph spells S-T-E-P-H.
Yep.
They all make a mistake and spell it with an F, but it's S-T-E-P-H-C-A-R-S-E. And .com, but we go to YouTube /Steph Carse TV. We have all the videos there.
Yeah.
Everything is free for streaming.
Yeah.
Instagram.com /Steph Carse.
Okay.
And then our nonprofit for anti-bullying is Why I Count, spells with a Y.
Yeah.
iCount.org. We're so they could find me out everywhere.
Yeah. So make sure y'all look out for him. Pop, whatever music you're looking out for. Something
Grace,
different,
yeah.
Amazing Grace, something different that you guys are looking out for, that this generation needs. It's time to release substance on the earth. This is Ramsey Rizard on The Reflection Show. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you, brother.
Steph, you are amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing Grace.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. And remember, your experience matters.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Balgrash nach Bren en Pure Shamrod Nismi Erkan Ershachrandra Unyerst Guntror Saldos Galsu Lenda. The Lord has promised good to me. His word, my hope, secures. He will my shield and voice shall be, as long as life endures.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. 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 Amazing grace,
How sweet the sound wretch like me.
judging me from my choice, robbing me from my joy. It ain't right. Please don't think it personal. It's just not optional. I'm declaring it's time to be free. No more feeling of sadness, filled up with gladness, ain't wasting time. Cause life is beautiful and I feel awesome. Makes me wanna shout and say I am beautiful. Life is awesome. judging me for my choice, robbing me from my joy.